Yes, yo guys, what is going down? Welcome back to another stream. It's Ash here from the NTV iPlayer, and I really enjoyed the streams we did where we sort of like looked around the old city maps that I used to build on Minecraft, and I've been watching quite a lot of like reaction videos like as of like recent, and I thought that I'd maybe like start coming live and doing some like reaction videos. So I've been watching some reaction videos as of lately, and it's been like Americans and like Australians and like people from New Zealand and God knows where else, and they've been reacting to the Isles of Man TT, and they've been reacting to this Pacific video which is called Top Speed Moments. And a lot of these reactions that I've come to watch, I have found a lot of them to be misleading. This video, for starters, every little footage and clip in this video clip from watching the people reacting to them, not every clip is actually on the TT track itself, so there is actually some little footage of bikes on like other tracks, but the people that have been reacting to it, they just think it's all part of the TT. And I do believe that this part here, where you can see at the start of the video, this is not part of the TT course. This is I think it's like part of the Southern 100, which is still on the Isle of Man, but it's like a smaller course, and people just think it's all part. Yeah, they're going around the TT course, and some of the reactions to it I've just kind of found are a little bit sort of like, they just lack, and they don't really seem like it's almost like they're trying to be enthusiastic but they're not. And then some of them are just like, whoa, bro, you won't get me on a bike. And I just think like, yeah, you won't get me on a bike, but you know, I think the people that go out here to the Isle of Man, and the people that race any form of road racing, I think, you know, that they've just got to be absolutely, they've got to be mental. They've got to be crazy. They've got to have something up there that us normal people just don't have, because it's like, it's just absolutely crazy that they jump on a bike and do all these speeds through these towns and villages. And another misleading thing is, I saw one video, and on the thumbnail it said that the bikes were doing 207 miles per hour around the course. Now I can confirm 100% that the bikes are not doing 207 miles per hour, and when some of the people that have watched this video and reacted to it have been like, oh yeah, you know, these bikes must be going over 200 miles an hour, they're actually not going over 200 miles an hour. Now there's a section of the Isle of Man TT course called Sulby Straight, and some of the bikes have got to 200 miles an hour going down that straight, but alongside like the rest of the course and the track, they're doing like 150, 160, 170. They're not doing over 100 miles, over 200 miles an hour. And, you know, even doing sort of like 150, 160, you know, they're still knocking out some speed. So without further ado, let's jump into this and react to this. Now, before we do jump into it, you've got to remember that I have connections to the Isle of Man TT. My granddad used to race in the Manx Grand Prix, which is like another sort of racing event that takes place around the course. And, you know, he raced like the older bikes, so like Manx Nortons and you know, all the older stuff that, you know, he obviously won't be going around the course as quick as these are now, but he still raced around the legendary course. So I do know quite a fair bit about the Isle of Man TT, and I've been over a couple of times. I'm going over in a couple of months, but let's have a little reaction to this video. Ooh, do you see that first bite there? He like literally just wobbled ever so slightly, and you can tell by the camera that with the noise that I think there was a little bit of wind, and I think the corner just absolutely took him. So imagine being on that bike yourself and then sort of almost realizing that you've just wobbled a bit and thinking, you know, like, shit, I nearly came off there. And then I want to scroll back because I think there was another bike like right Yeah, so he like wobbled, and then there was another bike that was like literally catching him up. And like I say, I think this is on the Southern 100 course. And another reason how you can tell as well, if it was the Isle of Man course, you wouldn't get like all of these bikes like right near each other, because on the Isle of Man TT, the track itself is like 37 point so many miles long, and each rider sets off 10 seconds after each other. So yeah, you know, like going around the course, you might catch up to like one or two other riders, but it's very rare going round the TT that you are going to that you're going to, you know, like sort of come across like you know, like about 6 bikes coming like all sort of like next to each other. Do you know what I mean? So Dean Harrison trying a bit too hard through the senior race, filmed by YouTube channel Lee Corkill. So Lee Corkill, I think, is the guy for the original footage, but they're all coming through.
How did he keep that up?
So obviously, like, one thing I do love about these is like crowd reaction, because, you know, like watching it on a video, yeah, you think, you know, like this is actually like, this is mental, this is insane. But to actually stand where they're stood and feel and hear these bikes come through, trust me, it is like something like never before. It is crazy, and I've stood not here, but I've watched at places around the main TT course, and they come by. It's really loud, and it really does blow you away as well. So again, here, I think this is part of the TT course. Oh no, this is Northwest 200. It says here it's on the Northwest 200. So yeah, so these videos, people have been saying it's all part of the Isle of Man TT, but it's not. It's showing like other road racing clips. And I don't think these Americans, I don't think that they realise that it's like a different. I don't think they realised that that there was one guy I watched, and I don't think he realised that the Isle of Man TT was like the Isle of Man was an island, and I think he just thought it was the name of like a racing event, and they held it at like different circuits or something, which is crazy. Like look at them all coming through. Like that is just absolutely crazy. Like, did you hear like how loud the bikes were? Like yoom yoom yoom, and how like they were so close to each other. Like you won't get that round the main course, because like I said, it's set off like 10 minutes after each other. 10 seconds, sorry, not 10 minutes. 10 seconds. And the mad thing is, around the TT course, they can get around the course in about 16, 17 minutes now. So 37 miles in about 16 minutes, you know, you're knocking up some speed. And that was on a wet road. So they come flying through, and they lift the front wheel up, like on a wet road. Like, and they're doing, like it says here, is doing it like 150 miles an hour. And I'm thinking, like, are you absolutely mental? Because I've had a 125 bike, and I know, like, when you drive, you know, when you ride on the dry roads and you ride on the wet roads, that there's obviously a big difference, and it's so easy to slide and to slip when you're on the wet roads. And the fact that this guy can come through at 150 miles an hour on the wet road and still lift his front wheel up is like, you've got to have, like, I don't know, you've got to tap into some form of like energy and some form of, I don't know, you've got to have balls to do this. That's all I'm saying. Like, look how fast it was coming through and just lifting the wheels up in the wet. Like, you know, I thought to myself, like, imagine if I did the TT, and then I'm thinking, like, yeah, there's no way on earth. And the thing about it is they've got to train a lot as well. They do a lot of short circuit racing, like throughout the year when the TT's not taking place, and they've got to be built like physically and mentally to jump on a bike and go around there. It's, you know, I can't just say tonight like, oh, I'm going to do the TT, and then next year I jump on a bike and go around the course. It's, you know, it can take a good sort of like 4 to 5 years to build yourself up to that point where you could race in the TT. So this is the TT itself. Look at this, man. This is Kurt Michael. Like, doing that through a town. In like a town where there's like petrol garages and shops and people live. And then you've just, you know, imagine you live in that house there, and you just come out of your door, and then literally a bike's just like, shoom. And the thing is, like, there's no barriers. Like, there is on like certain points of the track, like, which are actually points of interest on the track where you can actually go and watch. But imagine like I don't know how it works, but imagine if you like lived in that house. Like, would you be told like you can't leave your house like during that race? Like, are you physically not allowed to come out your front door and stand on the footpath because there's no barriers? So like, I would imagine that you wouldn't be allowed to come out of this house and stand on the footpath because of like the pure danger. Now that place there, now where they are now watching, I've watched there once, and it comes down the little hill and it dips round the corner, and it's just before Kurt Michael. And you get different people, I suppose, that like want to go out to the TT and watch. You've got the people that kind of like go there because they want to see like how fast they're going, and then you've got people that kind of like want to go and they want to sit and they want to be able to see like which rider's which, and you know, they want to take note of like how the race is doing. If you go and sit, like stand here and watch or sit here, you're just going to see nothing but like something just, you know, flash past your eyes. Like, if you want to go and watch somewhere for speed, I can't remember it'll actually say on here. Yeah, so bottom of but Bagaro. Yeah, so if you stand and watch there, or you sit and watch there, that is a place to watch for speed. At Bagaro, I watched there 1 year, like I say, and the way they come down so fast and go around that corner is purely, honestly, like, look at that, man. Are you mental? Look at that. Jesus Christ. Wow. Again, just in the wet, like, you know, we're not even going to go any slower because it's wet. What did that say? Sorry. Alright, yeah, so apparently this guy jumps at 200 miles an hour. Now, I don't, like I say, it's not 200 miles an hour. I'll tell you that now, it is not 200, right? These bikes, like, if you're on a like a really long straight, like Sobe Straight on the main Isle of Man course, you can reach about 200. But there is no way on this short circuit course that they're going to be lifting up here at about 200 miles an hour. Like, yeah, they could be doing like 140, 150, you know, don't get me wrong, but 200, like, I think that, like, that is like misleading information. I mean, if it's true, and they actually are now doing 200, then I'll take everything back, and I will literally, I will take my hat off, even though I'm not wearing one. I will take my hat off to these mad bastards that want to jump on a bike and go that speed. I mean, I think if there was doing 200, it'd be like really hard to see them as well. Like, you know, like, I just think like it really would feel like a flash more than sort of like seeing an actual bike. that's part of the mountain section. Look at this guy. Literally, right? I actually think like this is illegal. I don't think you like on a note, like up on a level. I don't think you're actually allowed to like sit on a grass bank like that anymore. I'm sure like it like because of rules and laws. I'm sure like you've got to like literally like find somewhere and sit like where you're behind a barrier where there's like seating because they changed a lot of laws and regulations because of people getting hurt and stuff. And the only issue is when you go and like to these like grandstands and you go and sit, like some of them charge you like 30 quid to go and sit there. And then there's like sometimes you'll have like a coffee van and a hot dog van, and they'll charge you like nearly 8 quid for an hot dog. You know, like one of them sort of like rip-off things. But that I'm aware of, I don't think you are physically allowed to sit on grass banks anymore like that. But I think like some people just go and do it anyway. Like they just hide out in some little woodland area and watch it. But like Jesus Christ. And I mean like he stuck his phone right out on the gimbal. And like imagine like all it takes is like for the rider to hit that phone, and because they're coming that fast, it's going to do damage to the kid holding the phone, and then it's obviously going to knock the rider straight off the bike. So like, you know, I know obviously like people are just amazed by this speed, and you know they want to get the best action shots and they want to film and all the rest of it, but health and safety, man. I mean, these riders are coming like so fast that the slightest little thing can knock them off. You know, like a bump in the road, just being a bit too close to the curb. Like they haven't got time to be dealing with that, and they're doing like, well, they're taking, you know, they're participating in one of the most dangerous motorsport races in the whole wide world. You know, and you a kid there leaning out like that. Sorry, mate, but just it's not worth it. So like I kind of don't agree with someone sticking themselves out like that. Like, are you mental? Are you mental, bro? Are you honestly mental? And it obviously like shook him up as well, the way he sat back like, whoa, like, yeah, because that bike come closer to you than you thought it was gonna do. And then there's the noise as well. Yeah, look at him sitting back now like, Jesus Christ. Yeah, so this is Ballath Bridge. There was a really bad accident here a couple of years ago, and a foreign rider sadly lost his life. He went into the side of the pub and obviously died at the scene. You've got to be so careful because they look at him in midair, and this bridge, like you jump over it, like that is just crazy, like. And that's not Sobe Straight either. Like that is like I think that's like part of like Ballath Bridge still as well. It's either that or Kurt Michael, because Sobe Straight is like a literal long straight, and it's not inside of a town. There's like I think there's like a little churchy chapel thing, and there's like some crossroads like for the normal road where you can turn off to like Derby Junk and stuff, but there's like this isn't Sobe Straight, so I don't get why this video has to lie. And like again, he's not doing 207 miles an hour. Kind of getting me excited for going to the Manx Grand Prix. That's the start and finish line. Now that, where it's a straight like that, that's where they're going to be knocking up like probably the most amount of speed, like on straights like that. You hear that woman then having the time of her life. It's almost like she'd just like witnessed an orgasm for the first time. Like, yeah, like just the enthusiasm when that bike had gone round. It was almost like it's like she'd been fucked for the first time. He actually hit the barrier, but luckily he managed to slow down in time. Because you have to slow down for the corner anyway at Cregner Bar. And he's obviously just handled the corner all wrong. And he's like tried to sort of like fix himself, but he was just unable to. He was unable to do so. Bless him.
I miss that in my gym.
I think like he was meant to retire. I think the marshals came running to see what was up, and the guy's like, "No, fuck you, I'm not out of the race." Carries on, but he pulls out like in front of bikes that aren't even that. You know, he's not going that fast. They've slowed down for the corner, but they've handled the corner correctly. So they're about to open back up, and then he pulls out in front of them. That is crazy. Again, this is like in the Northwest 200. Jesus Christ, look how we like lifted that front wheel up. That's on Bray Hill. So at the start of the course, there's like a real small straight section, and it goes over a crossroads, and then you go down at St Ninian's Church, it's called, and you go down what's called Bray Hill, and you really get speed going down there, like, oh my god. And obviously hills, mate, you gradually go faster when you're going down them as well. Let alone them opening up the throttle, because you know that they're in a race and they're trying to win a race. Again, this is MotoGP. So, like, why is this in the Isle of Man top speed moments? Now, don't get me wrong, I've got respect for people that race in MotoGP and people that do, like, short circuit racing like this, but it's got nothing on, like, the Isle of Man. There's even MotoGP riders that have said, like, they'll never do the Isle of Man. Like they enjoy the short circuits, but they said the Isle of Man's a different, you know, like a totally different gravy. I mean, Jesus Christ, they were half coming through. Look at them all just sat. I genuinely thought, like, just sitting on a grass bank like that was illegal. I mean, this was 2018. I'm pretty sure it is illegal. I mean, if anyone knows, do like correct me. And I don't think I'd want to sit there either. Jesus Christ. There is marshals there, so maybe it is like, sit at a certain place that I don't know. Jesus Christ.
No ways. No fucking ways. No. Oh, for fuck's sake. No.
I don't know what he was effing and blinded about. Was he having an argument with whoever he's there watching it with?
Oh, mother.
He was definitely in shock. His face then, when when the bike came by, his face then just said it all. Like, and I think it took his hearing as well. I want to watch that again, actually. Like,
Oh, mother.
he's just like having another orgasm. And then he's just like, Jesus. Like, this guy, that other guy was like, I'm having an orgasm. But then, like, this guy just, he didn't even know what to think. He was just blown away.
Here now. It's a class one.
Even he's feeling a bit too close for comfort.
That's quick.